you ready. Well, let's do it again.
Okay, so
Five.
hey, but first off, I just wanted to say that this is going on our YouTube channel, which is the Home Team 512. So that's the first place you will find this. So you got to send that part to me. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Big smile. And 5, 4, 3, and...
Hello, Austin, Texas. This is Troy and Wyatt with the Home Team, where you're watching and listening today. No, I don't like that. Let's start that over.
Okay, ready?
Hello, Austin, Texas. You're listening and watching Troy and Wyatt with the Home Team, where we bring sports and money together for your education and entertainment. If you have any questions about anything we say today, please reach out to me at loansfromtroy.com or give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And as always, you can reach the Wyatt. And he's on the Home Team 512.
That's right.
Yeah. And this segment is brought to you by Security National Mortgage, where we turn houses into homes by financing your American dream. Well,
it's still there. The American dream's still out there.
It's just more expensive today.
Well, it's getting that way, but it seems like we have some light at the end of the tunnel a little bit.
You know, the funny thing is that real estate has been very confusing lately. And I've talked to a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of professionals, such as our superstar co-host, Jena Dubon with OnAir Realty.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Jena.
As always, enjoy seeing y'all.
Exciting. I mean, there's a lot of information to give out. And so having you here today to make sure that it's correct information is very important.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's a lot of misinformation as well.
Yes, a lot of hysteria.
Yeah. You know, what I am hearing and seeing in the market right now is that people don't understand what's about to happen or what has just happened in our industry. I mean, in a year, the Fed fund rate has gone from 0% to 5% in a year. That's huge. Huge. And rates have gone from 3s to 7. At one point, they were 8%.
Well, real quick, explain
Mortgage rates.
Explain a little bit what the Fed fund rate is.
So the Fed is how banks borrow money from themselves and from the government. So if they need to, because most of them use their own money as in deposits, and things like that, checking accounts, stuff like that. But they also have to send it out, bring it in, and they borrow it. So the cost of the money is now 5%, whereas last year it was 0. So, that in itself makes it more expensive for the banks to work. And obviously, I mean, we've already had 2 huge failures,
and they don't
bank failures.
And they don't take the bill when it comes to us, right?
When you say they passed that bill along.
Wait, no, they don't keep it?
No, that
it's
bill
not 5% out of their pocket?
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, I can't even remember her name, but she used to be the press secretary. She said, we like to think that they don't pass that along. But no, they do pass it along.
Sure would be nice if they would,
Yes,
huh?
It makes us feel better if we think it's not passed along. But it's passed along. And so that makes it more expensive. And so what has happened with it, the last time the rate was at 5%, the Fed fund rate was at 5%, was 2006. So everybody goes, oh, we're going to have 2008 again, right? That's kind of the thought. And so everybody thought the economy was going to plummet and the housing market and all that. It's different now.
When you say everyone, you're talking about the talking heads or the general public?
The talking heads in general are telling the information.
Okay.
And people that don't know are just accepting it.
Okay.
Well, you got to think, too, when they're giving you that information, it's usually because, obviously, it's the number one topic,
Sure.
but they're always behind whatever it is.
Well, it's sensationalistic
Yeah,
a
so
little
they're
bit.
like, oh, it's a great time to buy. Interest rates are really low. So everybody's like, all right, it's time to go buy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, not a great time to buy. Interest rates are high. People get scared, and then they start to see what the market's actually doing because they'll go to their professional local real estate agent, or they're looking at the market on their phone. I mean, there's so many places you can actually watch what's going on in real time.
Right.
So it's good to stay up to date with someone who's local, they're a professional in that area, and just really get into the know because it's not all scary. We had a lot of people buying during this last 6 months that were investors, and they were getting some crazy good deals.
Right.
All of my home buyers that bought in the last 6 months have gotten great deals. And then all of a sudden, it all picked back up about a month ago, where we had tons of applications, we had tons of showings, multiple offers. Not like what we were seeing before, but it was like it just was a big boom. Everybody was back in the market. And then the rates went up again. And surprisingly, we still have lots of buyers coming into the market, and they're looking for properties. They can get closing cost help. They can get off the price if it is in the right area and it's the right property. Some properties are still getting in multiple offers. So you just have to be really vigilant in the areas you're looking in.
So I've heard that there's multiple offers going on right now, and a couple over asking price in certain parts of Austin.
You
and
know,
that's below your 300,000.
Yes. In some cases, it can be over. The trick right now is we're back into a different type of market where you actually have to market very aggressively. You have to have your house picture perfect. You want to have staging. You want to make that buyer walk in and fall in love.
So quasi normal.
Oh, you're back to like, this is what I love.
Right.
This is what we do.
Right.
So it's a very different industry than what we were at in 2020, where it's like, just put it on the market. If it's fixer upper, we'll still get multiple offers. You're really coming in and you can get multiple offers if you price right.
Right.
Anybody overpricing right now, you're not going to get it and you're just going to get lower.
So we talked about misinformation earlier. What are some of the things that you think people are being misinformed about?
Well, yeah, the question is, or the answer I'm receiving right now is, I'm just going to wait for the rates to come down.
For whatever
But that's
question mark that they have, yeah.
they're just like, oh, the rates are too high, and I'm like, yes, the payment is $400 to $800, just kind of depending, more per month,
Right.
exactly. But then I say, well, how? And they say, well, I'll just wait till next year when the rates come down, right? And I'm like, so you are convinced that the rates are going to come down next year, and the answer is 99% of the time is yes, and that's when they want to buy,
Sure.
right? And so I said, well, let's do math, and math. It's data and math. It always clears the answers up. And so what it is, if you take the median sales price, which was $450,
Right.
January, and 4.5% appreciation, which is very, very normal. That's the history of the last 50 years in Austin is 4.5% appreciation. You take that. In 2 years from now, that house is now worth $491,000, right?
Right.
So to buy that house, you have to spend $41,000 more to buy it. Now, let's just say the rates are at 5, which is kind of the normal rate.
Yeah.
That 5%. You would save $200 a month buying that house in 2 years from now at 5%, as opposed to today and I ran it at 7.5%.
Right.
Right, at $450 today. So you're saving $200 a month. Okay. Now you got to think, over 2 years, that's $4,800 is what you have saved in 2 years.
Just $4,800.
$4,800.
I make that seem like it's a little amount.
No, but just think, you spent $41,000 to save for $2,400, or $4,800.
$4,800,
Yes,
yeah.
to
And that's
save.
the cost of waiting.
That's the cost. That's what I'm saying, is that people aren't taking into the consideration when let's just play it out to what I think is the best idea. You buy it now at the higher rate. You're spending a couple $100 more now. So, $4,800 over 2
Sure.
years. Then you refinance. The cost of refinance is $3,000 to $6,000 at the most, $10,000.
Right.
Right. So in 10 years, you have a house that's $400 cheaper, or in 2 years, I said 10, is $400 cheaper than it is in 2 years from now, and you save $31,000 doing it.
And Jenna, you think that's what the investors, they have that knowledge and that's why they've been investing?
But it's kind of like you buy in the dip.
Mhm.
And they were noticing that the buyers were kind of out because they were scared.
Mhm.
And so they were coming in and they were just getting
Less competition.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, of course, especially when they're looking at an investment, because most of them are buying and holding. I
Right.
know that this is also an area for a lot of flips and people, everybody tries to get into that industry. You have to find distressed property for that. But for
Right.
these investors, they're coming in just buying your normal home to
Mhm.
just hold and lease out long term.
So would you say this is a good time to get a hold of a professional and ask them the questions? Yes, it's good to get some of the data, but have someone else kind of determine what that data
I
looks
think
like
it's
for them.
always a good time to do that.
So
'Cause
how do they get a hold of you?
you can give us a call at 512-310-8080, or you can visit our website at onairrealty.com. We also have this awesome QR code that will take you to our app.
And that's an app for both you and Troy, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and on that QR code, and it's right here.
I always love when you do that.
It's
Oh, wait a minute. You have to throw it over to me.
and then
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Right there. Okay? I'll throw it back. Hold on.
Got
All
it.
right,
And as far as that, you can run pricing, you can check availability of homes for sale. You can run scenarios. You can ask questions. You go in there and just
Yeah.
ask questions. It comes to us. So everything you need, and that's the hometeam512.com / no, sorry, that's Loans from Troy. I don't even know where I work today. It's loansfromtroy.com / the home team. But of course, this QR code is the fastest way to get there.
So that being said, a lot of people misinformation. Obviously, they're also hoping, right? I think buyers are hoping it's 2008, and sellers are hoping it was 2020.
Yes.
And it's neither.
It's exactly. And that's where you really need to look at the data. The data never lies. We always go and check out the numbers. So if you're thinking about selling your property and you just want the information to just kind of see if it's a good decision for you or what else is out there for you to look for, whether that's investments. Troy and I, we work on so many different deals together, from investments, first-time home buyers, vacation homes, you name it. So if you want to get in anything with real estate, reach out to us and we'll run the numbers for you. It's at no cost and it just gets you the information.
One last thing on this is when the interest rates do come down, right? They're thinking, before the end of the summer possible, right? We've seen they're kind of going up a little bit, and it makes people nervous. But when they do dip down, our inventory, do you think it's going to be able to handle it?
I absolutely do not think that our inventory is going to be able to handle this because it's at 2.7 months right now. And this
That
is
sounds like a lot,
se-
right? but when you're saying that, if you're not in the industry,
from,
2.7 months, you're like, that's
6 months is considered healthy.
okay.
So Austin is now 2.6 months is kind of normal for
Okay.
Austin, right?
For Austin.
It's pre-pandemic. We were running 2.6 months,
Okay.
right? But the thing that before that's not being considered is in that 2.6 months is to be built. So there are homes that are not ready. So when you take those homes out, plus the active listings are down, are in there. So there's that. So there's literally 1.4 months of homes available to actually buy and purchase and move in within the next 30 days.
Okay.
And rates
Well, that's good
have
to
been
know.
running in the sevens, right?
Okay.
They're down now. So just imagine when the rates get in the fives, we will be fighting over homes again. And
Because you have to think about it. People are getting divorced. They're getting married. Those are two things that happen that you have to move.
man,
right?
he started straight off
I'm
on
just saying.
divorce. I was like,
Well,
how about they're getting married then divorced?
You're right. That was so negative. Well, people are getting married and sometimes divorced.
Hey,
And those are events that you have to move,
For
right?
sure. Life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. You're moving for a job. You're coming in town for a job. You're having kids, or your kids are going off to college and you want to downsize. There's certain events that you have to move, and all those people have been kind of waiting. I think,
yes.
because they think they're scared. So whenever that interest rates come down, they're going to be jumping on it.
Yes, there is. We call that pent up buyer demand.
Right.
And there is a lot. And we saw that in February because in January, the rates fell just a little bit, right?
Right.
Just a little bit. I mean, they just touched high fives and the market went crazy.
Yeah, it was nice.
I hadn't had that many people qualify or asked to be qualified since the summer before. And this was in January.
That's great news.
And then February rates climbed. Well,
Right.
now the Fed has kind of pushed that last little deal, and they've said that this is probably the last hike. And so with doing that, rates are starting to fall. So we're about to have the whole rush all over again. So you need to probably reach out to Jena.
Yeah, I would start now if you want to buy. Because waiting can really cost you.
Absolutely. And
And
if you're listening and you've been watching the home team with Troy and Wyatt, and of course our superstar Jena Dubon here, if you have any questions, please reach out to me at loansfromtroy.com or give me a call at 855-299-HOME. And as always, The Wyatt is available on the Facebook. That's the Home Team 512. And this segment was brought to you by Security National Mortgage. See you in just a minute.
You fucking nailed that, man.
He
He was trying. I'm like, shut up.
I didn't know if you saw. That's why I was.
He's like,
texting.
and I'm like, nope.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah, no, it's
I was just. I was trying to cover if you didn't have it.
Time that, like,
No, it's
yeah,
perfect.